Aman Jabi has worked in Silicon Valley for 28 years. His background includes work on deep technologies that are involved in the new digital prison system being designed by big tech. In 2020, he moved to Montana and became a whistleblower, warning the public of the very real threat about to be unleashed upon us all, known by many as the Mark of the Beast system. Aman explains how accepting the digital ID is the basic premise behind it all.
So by default, a digital identity implies that you are always in a digital prison. Since you have a digital identity and you're in a prison, you are by default a criminal. So we don't trust you.
Just like the old system, this new one is also voluntary. And you are supposed to know that it's a digital prison that you are voluntarily signing up for. And the reason for this is because in this new system, having a digital ID will be proof that you are a criminal. Because having a digital ID means that you are in a digital prison. And because you accepted it, you must be a criminal. Because of this, there is a new protocol being introduced with this system, known as Zero Trust.
How is zero trust going to be used? Here's a lady, she wants to go and buy some beef, but let's say her carbon footprint or her beef footprint for the month has been exceeded. That door won't open.
This digital prison is sneaking up on us all. There is no need for an implanted chip because everything is being done with facial recognition, which is already plugged into the entire system. America already has more cameras per capita than communist China, and our social credit score is already being logged. All we need at this point is a series of events that lead us all into having to make the choice of either accepting the new digital ID or saying no. Since the COVID lockdowns, new state-of-the-art LED lights have been replacing streetlights in cities throughout the West. Aman explains that this is all part of the plan. These lights will be connected to everything, including your phone and your car. And in new cars, that includes 16 different cameras with LiDAR and sonar. These lights are being outfitted with LED incapacitators, which is a light technology that was first announced 15 years ago, back when it caused enough brain damage to make a person sick.
Another strange weapon in the final stages of development is able to mount an all-out barrage on the optic nerve.
The LED incapacitator was developed under the auspices of the Department of Homeland Security for the purposes of creating what we call a non-lethal defense system. And this technology consists of a bright set of LED technology, light-emitting diodes, that is designed to create sort of temporary blindness, meaning temporary ability to not be able to see the person who we're trying to protect.
If aggressors caught in its bright pulsating glare don't shield their eyes or turn away quick enough, temporary blindness isn't the only effect they'll feel.
The first time I saw the LED, I was in a darkened room, and within 3 or 4 seconds, I had reached forward and grabbed a hold of a lab bench because I was feeling a little bit dizzy or disoriented.
The device's combination of different colors and random flashes can induce psychophysical effects, including vertigo and possible nausea. It's been nicknamed the puke light.
It's been 15 years, and our Silicon Valley whistleblower believes that this technology is now capable of killing people. Ultimately, we can say no to this.
But if there's a critical mass that doesn't sign on to the digital ID, then this agenda gets weakened substantially.
But we will have to first unify and come together. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
City into 5 zones and fine drivers to move between each area. So they sell this to you as, oh, we're creating all these livable cities, living locally for your convenience. But meanwhile, you're going to be fined to travel outside of that. And they started this conditioning with toll roads, with paying to drive on freeways, privatizing the roads. They got you used to the idea of paying to leave your home. And they're doing it now in New South Wales, in the state of New South Wales. They're talking about paying per kilometre. They've discussed this in the state of Victoria here as well. Paying per every kilometre that you travel. This is it's a prison that's being set up. I really want the team to pull up some highlights out of the interview that I did with Aman Jabi. This has been shared on technocracynews.com. Silicon Valley whistleblower, smart cities worldwide are being converted into open concentration camps. Dr. McCullough has also shared the article as well, saying that an invisible prison has been built just for you. Let's play that clip of Aman Jabi and hear what he has to say.
Did you just say mapping digital IDs to trees?
Yeah, every tree and plant, all of nature is going to be mapped digitally. And eventually we'll be getting pushed into the metaverse. These are called smart lights and smart poles, which are an integral part of the smart city infrastructure. They all are wirelessly communicate with each other. So it's an open air concentration camp for surveillance, as well as I'll show you, it'll be weaponized. And then they will also host all sorts of sensors in the name of climate change and global warming. They don't even have diffusers on top of them. So you can't look up at these lights. They're designed to make humans look down. There's something called a puke ray. It's an LED incapacitator where you have this, think of it, this as an LED gun, which is able to emit different frequencies of light at a very high rate of change. So when you do this at a very high frequency with different lighting, and if there's a human being that's in the vicinity and looking at these lights or near these lights, you can get intracranial damage, you can hurt your spine, you can get sick. I bet you it can even kill you. So these can be used as weapons.
I encourage everyone to go and watch that interview. It's gone absolutely viral. It's had, I would say, close to 1 million views across platforms, if not more by now. It is a crucial interview. And what is every tree being mapped digitally going to do? Every single plant, everything being mapped digitally. That means your interaction with everything that's been mapped digitally is going to be punished with carbon emissions punishments by impacting your social credit score. And these lights, these weaponized lights. Now, for anyone who doesn't realize, Aman Jabi, 25 years in Silicon Valley working on these types of technologies, surveillance technologies, he knows what he's talking about. And these weaponized lights that make humans look down, that are there to subvert you in these smart cities that they're pushing everyone into, so that you can't even hold your head up high, so that you don't have any pride, because the aim is to destroy you as a human, not just your life, but destroy and crush your soul. And if that wasn't bad enough, some lights that can also kill you. Some lights that can also kill you emit puke rays. So not only are we going to subvert you and control you and keep you trapped in a prison that you can't see, but you know is there, and it's always looming. It's always there, looming over your shoulder, that you can't leave this border, this district that these Hunger Games maniacs have set up for you, because you need to eat tomorrow. And if you leave your district, you'll be penalized. You've got to eat tomorrow. You've got to go and visit your sick mum. So you're going to eat less meat this month in order to be able to have enough social credit points to go and visit your mum. And they're talking about, in the Oxfordshire City Council, they're actually talking about how people will need to apply for these permits to be able to leave their areas. And not everyone will be granted a permit. So not only do you need to pay to leave your area, but you also may not be granted the permit to do so. In Australia, they've started painting red big chunks of the road in red in rural areas, where I think they're going to lock people out or lock them into these areas when a crisis hits. And they've actually got cameras and surveillance set up at those very points that are going to limit people moving around. This is not a joke. These people really mean business when they say, or when I'm saying what they're really saying, which is that they want to lock you up in a digital prison.